What's happening, everybody? We are back here with another video. So it is almost the 4th of July. We are down here playing with some new cars. I got the 33 up on the lift. We're getting the front end back in shape with redoing the lights. You guys seen that? And just getting it roadworthy. Just got a new JDM battery for the you hear all the fireworks going off because it's almost 4th of July. Just got a new JDM battery thanks to my friend Carl for the Sylvia. So that thing's running again. And he just bought a new car, and it's a little treat. It is super cool, and you guys do not see these every day. You see 32s, you see 33s, now you see 34s, but you don't see these. So this is a 31, right?
Yep.
R31. Yep, R31 Ford sedan turbo, single cam turbo, which is pretty cool. And it's got a lot of cool little OEM touches on it. So the first thing I noticed when he pulled up was this. And for you guys that don't know what that is, it is a air purifier, which was a factory option all the way up to like R34s. But a lot of like the big body cars, like a lot of Simas, Glorias have them. But they also came in S chassis and R chassis. And this one, the MZ1, is really cool. It has a third brake light in it, and his also came with a little box of filters in the glove box. So it's got the factory Puriton filters, which is super cool.
Puritron, it's such a cool name.
Puritron, yeah, Puritron. So just cool to have. Not that you'll ever put it in there because it's just cool to have and you don't want to use it up.
But it still works.
But it still works. They're super cool for like people. They're for people that smoke, really. You could smoke in the car and it sucks all the smoke in and basically clears the air. Another thing I noticed it has is these ultra cool factory rain guards, which are like chrome, super 80s. This is a 1988, so 1 year before the R32 came out. First year of the S13, last year of the R31, right before Nissan's modern era, really. And so this is like the last of the 80s cars, the last of the 80s Skylines. Because when you think of an R32, you think of early 90s. You don't think of late 80s, even though they came out in the late 80s. Like one of my black 32 coupe was actually an 89, I think. Oh, it might have been a 90. Yeah, I think it was a 90. But DJ's S13 is an 88 or an 89. It's got the blue interior, which is super 80s Nissan. Manual trans. I peeked underneath and it looks like it has an R200 diff, which is awesome. I mean, being factory turbo, that's kind of what I expect. But I didn't know that the 80s came with R200, so that's cool. Does it have a factory boost gauge on it?
It does.
Yeah.
And it only goes to 5.
Yeah, see that, but that's not see that's a different unit of measurement though. That's how the Skyline, the GTRs
like
are
something
too.
Kilograms to whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah, that's how the GTRs are as well. They only go to 5.
So yeah, so I don't know what the conversion is there.
Yeah, you gotta convert it to exactly to like kilograms. But yeah, another cool thing it has is first generation HKS turbo timer. So like that's like a legit 80s HKS turbo timer. This is where all the power comes from. This is an RB20E factory turbocharged. So the motor itself looks exactly like all the way up to basically late R33. Like my R33 has an RB20 in it. It's literally an identical motor to this. The valve cover is exactly the same. It looks exactly the same, minus the intake manifold and the fact that it doesn't have a turbo. But the motors are extremely similar. I'm willing to bet you could pop this valve cover off and switch them out and you wouldn't even be able to tell that you ever switched them. So same motor from the 80s all the way to the late 90s. But all kinds of little things. Like look at that, the Skyline emblem in the headlight. Very cool. And the fact that it doesn't have an intercooler on it, but it has a heat shrink basically on the piping, which is super cool. So these are really hard to find stock, and this one is very stock. but not for long, because today it gets slammed. By the end of today, it will be low and it will have some wheels on it, period correct, of course, and this thing's gonna look super cool. So let's get to it, I guess. We're out here outside the shop. I am soaking wet. It is 130% humidity today, and we're just cranking shit out.
Oh my
but so far we got one corner done of the Skyline. Is there any pad that sits on the bottom, or no?
In here somewhere?
Yeah.
No.
On the bottom where the spring sits. I know there's one for the top that came off. That one right there. Over here.
Oh yeah, no, I did not see anything on the bottom.
Yeah, there probably wasn't. So, yeah, just doing springs on here. They have dead coils on them, so we took 2 dead coils off, which it says right in the instructions you're allowed to do. People saying you're cutting springs. Not really cutting springs, they're dead coils. They sit completely together. There's no springiness to them. They're meant to be cut and trimmed to size. So, and that's per the instructions. So don't come at me when you say you're cutting fucking springs, because we're not. Japan says it's okay.
What, the top hat pattern?
Yeah, is the top hat pattern the same? It is. It is the same as an S13, and I just lost part of my bearing.
You lost this?
Yep. But that's awesome. That means you could just literally change to S13 spindles and S13 control arms, and then just run straight S13 coilovers on it. No need to change the top hat, nothing. That's really cool that they actually fit. So if anybody's wondering, if you have an R31, convert to an S13 in the front. Makes it much easier. The R31 has moved inside because it got dark, but the front is all done. Sits at a very nice height considering they are springs. And now it is onto the rear, but with the wheels, it looks fucking sick. They do need a little spacer, but he does have multiple sets of wheels. One being some long champs that are gonna look tits on here, and they're a little bit of a lower offset, so they should fit a little better. But R31 lowered on some old school wheels, quality. And it rides well, so once the rear's lowered, it should be good to go. And you got yourself a little period correct R31. Putting the rear springs in the Skyline now. They were actually quite easy. Wasn't aware how a rear end, oh look, I'm all dirty. I wasn't aware how the rear end on an R31 was set up, but it is nothing like an S chassis or a newer R chassis. It is like more like a Honda setup actually, which is quite strange. But I still think that it is an R200 in there, but it unfortunately is not an LSD. But I know you guys, I don't know if I've ever shown it on video.
That wheel's stupid.
Got some light up 33s. My boy came by with some of the best rockets in the name of 4th of July. But these things, I don't even know if the video is going to pick up how loud these actually are. But these are the best rockets that you can buy.
Fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole.
Yeah.
If you guys were here, you could feel it in your chest. They're so fucking loud.
Thank you. Oh, nope, you did.
Little dead coils off, never hurt nobody. All right, so we ended up taking one coil off the back just because we didn't want it to have a reverse rake just in case. If it's a little too high in the back still, then we could always go back and take another coil off. But just to be on the safe side, we only took one off. So had to find some lug nuts because the factory lug nuts are kind of like the Toyota style that you can't use on aftermarket wheels. So we found some lug nuts, tightening everything up, dropping it down to the ground, and we will see how it looks and call it a night. Fortunately, we didn't get to throw a steering wheel in, but it's getting a little late, and
yeah, we don't have to do that.
That's not that hard. I mean, I'm sure you could pop it on.
If we had...
So one coil off the back was definitely the right call. Definitely need some spacers, that's for sure.
Yes.
But A little bit of a rake, which looks awesome. And let's see it from the side view so we can kind of judge it. Oh yeah, that looks sweet. That is looking sweet.
Yeah, they're real sunk in the rear.
Yeah, they are. They definitely need some spacers.
Wow.
Or they need your long champs.
Yeah. No, for now, I'm going to buy those like 1 inch.
Yeah. But a little transformation though. Definitely looks a lot better than when it rolled in today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of the stock wheels.
No.
Yeah,
Who's a fan of those?
Yeah, they're kind of fucking ugly.
No.
Fugly.
Yeah. I like the center caps.
Center caps are cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
But changing up the wheels changes the whole car. All right, so
I want the light stuff.
the suspension job is complete for the night. It looks much better than when it rolled in. Like I said, still needs spacers, but cool period correct R31 Skyline turbo, 5-speed, and its brethren. But yeah, we turned into an import Nissan shop. Got the Sima outside. My Prado's home. My BMW's home. Do I have another car outside? Oh, Pajero. Yep. But yeah, we have another Nissan coming in next week, importing. Another import Nissan coming in next week, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Ended up being a long night. We had some fun, blew some firecrackers off, worked on some JDM cars, and that's going to be it. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. We're getting more videos out again, so catch you guys on the next one. Peace.